We're just going to talk for a few minutes, and we want your undivided attention. That's
yes,
right.
grab your coffee and check
Undivided attention. Seriously, the dfree movement, like any movement among African Americans, and the dfree movement, like movements that are social in nature, is really a movement that engages women in unique ways. Sometimes women's recognition goes wanting, and that's why I appreciate Women's History Month. You know, I said in my sermon a couple of weeks ago that both Black History Month and Women's History Month are important because the history of blacks and women is such that both were relegated to less than human status and less than equal status. And so anytime we can pause to recognize our mothers, our grandmothers, our sisters, our daughters, our wives, we should do so because, you know, James Brown made that song, "It's a Man's World."
Right.
And unfortunately, all over the world, we find that to be true in ways that are embarrassing
Right.
and less than desirable. And so, Tamika, first let me start by thanking you as a dynamic young woman for really embracing what was my vision, and now it's become our vision and our work, and being my partner in this global mission to help our people achieve financial freedom. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's exciting for us to have and pause and take this moment. We spend a lot of time talking about your background, especially during Black History Month and the Civil Rights Movement, but to now be able to celebrate where we are from a women's history standpoint is really compelling. The one thing I will say is also the same way you thank me, I'd like to thank our dfree team, who is heavily represented in terms of women leading the charge. So thank you, Martin. This is no exclusion to you. You're here in the thick of it.
We're outnumbered. There's no question.
Absolutely. So I'll do a quick commercial break. If any men are interested in joining the dfree movement, and you can think and do, feel free to shoot us an
program
email.
for men.
We're still small, so I don't necessarily know if we have to do that. But it is important for us to think about, you know, working side by side and really doing what we do. Our audience is both men and women, but we still skew heavier on the side of women. Even though you may not be the woman leading the household in terms of earning, you're making the decisions financially for your family, and so you are a leader in your house, and it's important for us to recognize kind of where we've been. And I think all of our movements have been representative of, in many cases, having at the very least one strong male figurehead, but definitely a team of women in the background really helping to make things happen. And so that's what we're talking about today, girl power, Women's History Month, and everything. And so thank you guys so much for joining us.
Well, when you think about African American history, especially during Women's History Month, from a financial perspective, you have to remember that the first Black millionaire was a woman.
Oh my gosh, Madam C.J. Walker.
She was a woman.
We had the pleasure of actually going to visit her museum when we were in Indianapolis.
Right.
It was incredible. This woman made money in a way that was just impeccable. Like, her model, if you think of what Avon is today, that was Madam C.J. Walker's vision. I mean, we saw everything from the uniforms that she had the women wearing to the entities that she built for people to celebrate. So it wasn't just about making money for her. It was making women beautiful, but also empowering women to really embrace and enhance who they are, and then use that to make money. And so, you know, when you think about fast forwarding to today, where African American women are the top consumers in the beauty and health space, you know, that all started from Madam C.J. Walker.
Madam C.J. Walker. Then when you think about the catalyst for the most effective Black economic empowerment movement, it was Rosa Parks.
Yep.
That the Montgomery bus boycott, December 1st, 1955, a Black woman motivated an entire community to organize the withdrawal of their money.
Yep.
I mean, many people don't remember that the bus boycott was a boycott.
Right. It
the
wasn't
boycott
just about
requires
race,
that you control your money. Then the most powerful African American in the media is a woman.
Yep.
Oprah Winfrey, the second Black billionaire, and Oprah has just continued to redefine and expand herself and be probably the most impactful personality in the media today.
Absolutely. Shout out to A Wrinkle in Time. Came out last weekend. We had that and Black Panther as the number one and two films. it's incredible. And I think, Disney did a great job of making sure that, one, Black History Month was celebrated with Black Panther, and to now release A Wrinkle in Time, which represents a diverse spectrum of women in the lead, lead characters. Right. Disney clearly got it right. And so I'm applauding Oprah, I'm applauding Disney, I'm applauding us for taking opportunities to see ourselves in film and really take ourselves seriously. So
right.
It's
now,
a
we
great
were
time.
in Los Angeles 2 weeks ago, and we did an interview on Stevie Wonder's radio station, but that was one station. The owner of the largest network of Black radio stations and the largest network of Black television presence is a woman.
Yep.
Kathy Hughes is the media magnate, and we salute her and celebrate her. You cannot talk about a category of Black achievement without really giving serious recognition to Black women. The first African American to be the president of an Ivy League university is a woman.
Yep.
Ruth Simmons was president of Brown University, and she came from Princeton University as provost, and she distinguished herself as a great scholar on the Ivy League level. And then my grandmother, both of my grandmothers, they were both Black women, and both my two grandmothers and my mother shaped my mind and my life and exposed me to a lifestyle that really gave birth to dfree. And that's why my books are dedicated to my grandmother. Many of my speeches include my mother, because those three women gave me a sense of what's possible as it relates to African-American economic prosperity.
Absolutely. I have to say the same thing. My grandmothers and my mother were probably the biggest influences of my life, and they represent three different approaches to life. My mom's mom was, she worked for Ethicon. She's still alive, love her to death. She taught me how to shop and save. Now, I always saw the shopping. I didn't necessarily see the saving. And for those of you that have been through dfree training, you've heard about that. But I got to see what it really takes to set up a life for yourself so that you can be single and independent and retired and enjoying your life and be financially stable. My mother, who raised three girls, put us all through Spelman. Shout out to Black women again. She taught us how to live and survive on, by any means necessary. She made it happen. And now she is thankfully, we're all grown and settled, and she's able to retire and be on her own. And then my grandmother here, my dad's mom, was an entrepreneur. She ran a restaurant for years. And, since my grandfather has passed, and even, then she was still taking care of her family. She had several children. I think she had 8 kids, and she raised them all and ran a business. And you can go to her house at any given time of the week and still get collard greens as if she was in that restaurant. And so I think the women in our lives play such a big, a big role in how we are and who we are as people. And so I think it's great for us to recognize them this month. Are you guys still with us? Are we live? Are people there? Are they checking in?
Okay. So in summary, we celebrate and salute women in general, Black women in particular, during this Women's History Month. And as a financial freedom movement, we urge you to take your finances seriously, talk to a professional, read our books, subscribe for our newsletter, read our magazines, join our team. Now we have more women than men, but we just need people. We want African Americans to appreciate the fact that although we have a history of injustice, we got started late. It's never too late to get started. And from the dfree community that is dominated by women, we thank all of our women for the support, the magnificent contributions that are being made right now. And we look forward to a future that's impactful, led by women, aimed at women, celebrating women all the time.
And I have one last commercial. We will be at Win Rock Rule at the end of the month to wrap up Women's History Month. Shout out to Dee Marshall, who is an amazing speaker, woman of God, who is really leading the charge to help women be their best in life. And so we'll be at Prudential in Newark on March 28th. You can visit Win Rock Rule online and register today. So I look forward to seeing you all at the end of the month, and let's finish out this month strong and continue to do what we do as women, leading at all levels. Have a great day, guys.